6 Platoon. In this video, you'll be learning how to prepare your ceremonial AMCU with me, Corporal Gangemi. To start, you're going to need your CAMCU belt, 2 belt keepers, a male and female piece, and a ruler. The first step is finding the appropriate length of your belt to make your creases. To do this, you're going to want to line the belt up with your waist and fold in the excess evenly on both sides, like this. Make sure when you have your belt on, it's on your waist, no higher and no lower. Step 2. You're going to define these creases by putting both creases under weight. As you can see, I did this by putting them under some 5 kilo weights, but the best method is to put it under your bed or your couch to really get those creases defined. Do this for as long as you can. Step 3. Assemble your belt. First, get your belt keeper and slide it the side of the belt that's going on your right, past the crease. Then get your male piece. This will go on the right side. A good way to remember this is the male is always right. You will see an arrow. For both the male and female piece, the side with the arrow is the inside, facing you. Next, you'll slide the male piece onto your belt and stop just past the crease. To finish this side, get the belt and slide it back through that belt keeper you put in first and pull as hard as you can until the keeper is touching the male piece, like this. Next, repeat the exact same process on the left side. Slide the belt keeper in first and then the female belt piece, making sure the arrow is on the inside facing you. Finally, take the belt and slide it back through the keeper and pull as hard as you can until the belt keeper is touching the female belt piece. Sometimes pulling only cannot be enough force, so a good thing you can try to do to get them touching is the door method, which is basically where you put your pieces on the other side of a door and pull hard to help you get them touching. Make sure when you do this to proceed with caution, as you don't want to break anything. But it is quite an effective method. Step 4. Assemble the belt on your pants. As you can see, it's impossible to actually get the belt onto the pants pre-assembled, so you will need to take the pieces off before doing this, and then pass the belt around your pants. This might take time, but I'll just do it magically and voila. Make sure when you do this step, you're putting the belt on the right way. Next, reassemble the belt the exact same way as you did before, making sure your belt keepers go on before your belt pieces, like this. And while you wait, you can just listen to this montage of Sweeney Todd because it's just an epic song. Once you've done that, the belt should look a little something like this. To connect the two pieces, the male piece goes under the female piece. If it is drooping at the front like this, you will need to make the belt tied up by redefining your creases. This is why it's very important to do it correctly the first time. Step 5. Iron your sleeves. Before you start this, go watch Corporal Patel's video on how to iron your AMCU shirt, and then come back to this video. If you've done that already, then, well, you're just a Sigma. With your CAMCU shirt, the sleeves are folded up and ironed. To start, you want to fold one of your sleeves inside out like this until it's 6 to 7 centimeters long. When wearing CAMCU, the ideal length is between 7 and 8 centimeters. However, you have to iron a little shorter as your sleeves tend to droop throughout the day, making them longer naturally. This is where your ruler really comes in handy. Make sure with every fold you measure to ensure it's between 6 and 7, as you can see right here. Once you've ensured it's the right length, iron down your folded sleeve on both sides like this, until it's flat and there are no visible creases. Next, repeat the same inside out fold once again. Here, I measured the sleeve and it was over 8 centimeters, so I had to readjust. This is quite a common problem you're going to run into, but the most important thing is ensuring it's the right length. Once again, iron on both sides of the sleeve until it's flat with no visible creases. Do this for every fold and on both sides of the sleeve, and of course, measure to make sure it's the appropriate length. Here's the final product of my first sleeve. As you can see, I've repeated the process of folding and ironing until below where my ANF patch would be, and tucked in the iron sleeve underneath my pocket flap to look like this. When you're actually wearing your CAMCU, your sleeve should be above your elbow/forearm when you prove low. That's how you know it's in the right position. Now that I've done one of my sleeves, I'm moving on to the other side, and you guessed it, it's exactly the same process. Remember, you fold your sleeve inside out until it's 6 to 7 centimeters long, iron on both sides until it's flat and there are no visible creases, and repeat around 4 to 5 times until the sleeve is below your patch and your pocket is over the sleeve. And make sure when you measure, you don't drop your ruler like I just did. After you've ironed on both sides, your finished shirt should look something like this. Now you can finish ironing the rest of your shirt. Some tips before we finish. Always double check your measurements first before you move on. Put the male belt piece on the right, remember the male is always right, and the female on the left. Have your belt resting straight on your waist, not below or above that. Have your sleeves 6 to 7 centimeters on every fold and above your elbow when proving low. Once you have on your CAMCU shirt and your pants, you can undo your zipper and then start tucking in your shirt, and use that undone zipper to tuck in your shirt from the front to avoid making more artificial creases by doing this instead of doing this from your zipper. And then you can tuck in the back as well. So this is my completed CAMCU with everything on. Just as a final checklist, you can see my belt pieces are touching the keepers. So male is touching that and female is touching that. You can see they're also not drooping, so they're not drooping down like this, they're just like this if I keep them in check. I've already checked both my sleeves, so they're in the right position, they're not touching my elbows, and I've tucked them underneath my flaps. And my shirt is obviously tucked into my pants. So this is what your completed CAMCU will look like. So it'll be looking really awful on the day. So thank you for watching, and please make sure to check out the other Lansing's videos if you haven't already. What you know about rolling down in the deep when your brain